Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rasmus-Gold, the original Barbie doll. Today is the first of many. This is my first story time video where I'll go into my history of when I dated an after 9 men for 4 years. To make the story more spicier, I got the one and only Savannah. Because what's a story time without the original Bev? This is the premium cider, not a sponsored video though, but we're gonna get there. So before we get into the story, let the intro roll. So just to give you guys like a background of where I'm from. So I'm from Uppington in the Northern Cape, which is a small town. So the culture with regards to accepting LGBTIQ plus men, it is not as well defined in Johannesburg. I'm not saying that homophobia doesn't live here, but back home, gay men, if you are from boy and gay men like me, you are well accepted and you are respected in the community. However, for your masculine or what they will call straight acting men, the same rules doesn't apply because it's still a taboo and men get judged, they get gossiped. So that is why you will get men that are in the closet. So the closet culture, they are quite big back home. So with me being an original Barbie doll, I personally felt like if I'm not gonna date a guy that's straight acting, that I'm not gonna date the guy at all. But however, that has changed because I was exposed to different type of gay men. But however, in Uppington, it was not like that, because what you're going to get is like feminine gay men or straight acting men. And the pool to date straight acting men, it was quite limited. Like I've mentioned, it was Uppington, it was a small town. But in Johannesburg, it's different. Like here, you get all types of indoor da. What the fuck do you mean?
No, that's right!
So, as I grew up as a young boy, I was really trying to tap into who I was as a person. What is it that I liked? So, as much as you can say that, oh, but you've always been gay, this does now apply to people that have known me since I was a very young boy. Yes, I know that, but also getting into yourself as a gay man, what you stand for, how you identify as, that's another story, and that's a journey that you need to take. Right? So for now, I can most definitely say what is it that I like to date and what is it that I don't like to date, because I don't like mimicking heteronormative ideas about dating. Because for me now, a straight acting man, I'm just like, I don't want to date a straight acting man. I want to date a man that is actually gay, that can stand their own ground, that I can enjoy. But anyway,
excuse me, don't you think you've had enough? Look, I've been there before. Believe me, it's not worth it. Get yourself some help.
let me get into the story. So I was 19 years old, right? So then there was this guy who belonged to this soccer team. It's a popular soccer team called Wings United back home. So as you know, soccer players, like, it's where it's at. Like, every girl that I know wants to date a soccer player back home, because we have this big tournament. It's called Easter tournament, right? So where all of the boys pull up and then they are playing, and yeah, the girls will drool. It's like the Durban July for people in the Northern Cape, because the boys are freaking cute. So then we will have like soccer teams coming from different provinces, and then they will come play, and then there's like this grand prize money that they win, right? And so back home, I was quite popular.
Yes, queen! Yes, queen! Yes, queen! Yes, queen!
So I was in the right circles, hanging out with the right people. And then there was this man. So me and my gang, we went out this other time, and then this guy's like, yo, Rasmus, where you at? Come see me. It's me and your crew, come through with your girls. And I will always do that. The girls looked gorgeous as usual. We pull up and we're having fun. We're having fun. I recall we went to the island, some sort of resort back home. We went there. We had a bride, and we were married. It was fun, guys. We were drinking. The daughters were there. It's like, yes, come true. We really had so much fun. And then it was time to drop off the people. So where I stayed is Papalela, right? So with this specific township, right, I was the last person to be dropped off. So all of my friends were being dropped off. They were dropped off. And then I was in the car with this daughter, but I was just so unbothered because I was 19, so it wasn't really a thing. I'm just like, drop me off because I'm freaking drunk. And then this man is like, I've been looking at you this entire time. You're so cute. I'm like, are you talking to me? He's like, I'm like, I'm so shy. Don't say that. And I'm never shy. I was like, give me this compliment. I'm like, is this where I think it's going? I'm like, okay, it's fine. But then we had a conversation and we kissed. So that's how the introduction happened, right? So I was like, okay, it's fine. But then he was like to me, listen, don't tell anyone about that. And I was 19. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell anyone about this because I want this. The reality of the story is that you are not going to find a straight acting guy or another guy to date because we were all facing this weird ideas about what it is like to date. And I haven't really dated anyone as yet. So I was exposed to men, I've kissed men I knew that I was into. But I was like, okay, let me just do this. And so then that's how the story ended between us. So then I think about 2-3 months later, he hit me up on Facebook like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? And then we started to talk, right? And so now it became a regular that we were now not dating per se, but things became spicy between us. We were now intimate. I will go to his place, and most of the time, I will be at because people really trust me back home. My cousins or my aunts will be like, listen, we're going away for the weekend. Can you please look after the house? And then I will look after the house. And then I will text him like, hey, baby boy, what are you up to? Come through. And then things will just be spicier. So that's how it went for 2 consecutive years. I was 19, I was 20, we're still at it, right? However, there was some kind of delay between us because I think I was dating someone for about 6 months now. So when I was dating someone, everything stopped between us. And I was telling him, listen, I don't want us to date. But then obviously when I'm single again, then I will send him a text and I will pick it up again and then we will just be together. But now let me just give you guys a brief idea as to how our conversations went. So because I knew at that point that we never had a conversation or discussion about what is this. So it was never a relationship. It was never a, I love you or I love you too, or why did you not get me a present? At that point, I knew that I was dating an after 9 man, and I knew that this was based on sex. And I couldn't even say the man was bisexual, but because I wasn't very educated, I also didn't feel like it's my place to put a label on him. So that's how the conversations went basically. So he'll be like, hey, then I know that, okay, nigga wants some booty. I'll be like, hey, hi, how are you doing? Great. Where you at? No, I'm just with my friends. Boom. Then we meet up. So then we send location. Wherever he's at, then I will go to him, or then he will come to me. And then we will do the date, and that's about it. Clear conversation, we move. Because nothing can be traced back to me. So then, year 3 now, yeah. He's now dating someone that I know. He was dating one of my childhood friends. So this is where it actually got spicy. So now as you know that if you're dating after 9 men, you guys should not be seen together. I can't even believe that I allowed myself to be in that relationship. You guys should not be seen together. You cannot tell your friends. It's just the way I explain how our conversations would go. We don't check up on each other. I don't want to know which soccer team that you love. What's your favorite curry? Nothing. We don't have those discussions. So then baby boy decided to date a lady that stays in the opposite street of me. Like she's like a childhood friend. So I recall, so we came from the club, pulled through, and then my friend is like, oh, I'm going to see my boyfriend. I'm like, who's your boyfriend? For the purpose of this video, I'll just say his name is Michael. So it's like, oh, it's Michael. She went to Michael and Michael. So Michael came to get my friend. And I'm like to my other friend, I'm like, yo, when did this happen? And my friend's like, oh, it's something new. I'm like, okay, I didn't know. But the only person that knew about me and this guy was my cousin. Because at the end of the day, there was no other way. I had to tell someone. So I'm like, huh? How can this happen? It is just so weird. These two freaks started to date and I was so angry. To my friend's defense, she didn't know about this, but he knew about it. So he would drop off presents to this girl's house. I literally felt like this relationship was flaunted in my face. But I didn't have a problem with what was going on between them because I knew that I was not dating this man. It was just a sexual thing. And this man was just like bringing presents, taking her out for lunch. So now I have to smile. But deep down I was like, this is so irritating. But do note that I was never in love with this man. I wasn't in love with this man. It was a situation of, it is fine. So they dated, but do note that I was still present in this man's life. I was still texting this man. He was still texting me. We were still meeting up, right? Because he was clear, he was like, listen, I just like this girl and that's how it is and I have feelings for her and I want to build something with her, but I also don't want to lose you. What we have going on is amazing. And what these men do, they use this thing of you're the only person that I can trust with this. Not all gays are like you, they're not trustworthy. And then obviously you see that as a compliment, but not going back to yourself and checking out your own values. I was sitting there like, can this come to an end? But they were dating, right? But also, before you guys judge me, when I say childhood friend, I literally just grew up with this girl, right? But we were staying in opposite streets, we grew up together, but we weren't close friends. However, when we meet up, we will be invited to the same poetry course or brides and all of those things, so we will always meet up. And how I know about this presents that she got, right? Because I had her number. So I would see on her stories, so I knew what was going on. But I was like, okay, there's no emotional connection to the situation, but I'm still gonna get my pipe. Because guys, where else was I gonna get a pipe? And my garden was going to be dry. So then this relationship went on and went on and went on. It was an amazing experience and I really enjoyed it. But there came a time where I felt like I deserved to be loved. And I knew that I wasn't going to be loved by him because that's the purpose behind this entire thing was you are dating an after 9 man and he will never be the man for you. Because if he's so confident to hide you, then where will he get the confidence to show you off? And when I now was in a point where I was old and I realized what it is that I wanted, that's when I put this entire thing to stop. No, I just stopped texting him, and whenever he would call me, then I would ignore his calls. So I then heard that baby girl was pregnant. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to be the reason why this child's without the father, because I knew that I was putting it down. But I was like, but this guy needs to be honest with himself. And I recall that me and him once had a conversation about what do you identify as? And he said, but I don't have any emotional connection to you, or I don't see any connection to other men. I don't want to be with other men. But whatever we're doing, I like that. I like you as a person. And obviously, later on when I became more educated about about being gender fluid, I realized actually there's something like MSM. And to those who doesn't know, I'm going to put up a picture with a definition. But basically, it is just men having sex with men, and that's where it ends. And I respected that. And I realized because he knew what it is that he stood for, I shouldn't be the person that now goes back and pull him out of the closet because I want people to know that actually I do have pipe. I do have someone that satisfies me or whatever the case may be. So when I decided to stop, that was when the girl fell pregnant. That is when I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I deserve better. And I haven't looked back ever since. But what I did like about that was because no one knew. And for 4 years, I assumed no one knew. However, last year, 2020, that is when I found out actually everyone knew about this. The world knew about this. And what I did laugh about this entire thing is, so whenever we will be at the club, right? He will be there at the same club. He will send me a text. He will be like, yo, I see you at the club. You're looking hella cute and yummy. Then I would respond, oh, yes, thank you so much. He'd be like, am I hitting that tonight? And then I'll respond like, oh, yes, sweetie. I am Chuck E. Class, an entire cook sister. Because it was enticing. I loved the attention that I got from this man. And another thing is, whenever there were like big tournaments, everyone will scream for this man. I love the mystery. When everyone wanted this man, and this man didn't want them back, but he wanted me, that was so nice. It just made me feel so powerful. But the realities of dating after 9 men, guys, you will never really enjoy yourself fully, because as confident as you may be, as beautiful as you may be, as educated as you may be, that is where it's going to end. It's just going to be you being used for sexual purposes. But I'm not going to say use because you gave consent, but that's where it's going to end. But for me, because I was also exploring sexually and I was new, so I just wanted to also just live myself out, because I knew that because I stayed in Uppington, I wasn't really going to be happy. I wasn't really going to find the love of my life or have the entire experience of dating someone. So I settled for that. But however, I've changed the entire narrative. So now I only date gay men because I don't want to be in that situation again. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed my story.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the story. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Please make sure that you let your friends know that this is where it's at. Please click on the notification, what do you call it, a bar? Please click on the notification link, so whenever I drop a video, you will be notified. And yeah, guys, once again, thank you so much. From me, the original. Bye-bye.